rather than complain, why don't women step up and set the example? Like, why don't women start approaching men rather than complain about how men approach them?
I mean, it depends on your boldness level. I'm not really the type of woman that's bold, so I can't really speak for other women.
As a woman, you get this slight celebrity status everywhere you go because everyone wants to look at you. Everyone wants to see you and do certain things to you. So they get kind of an air about them. I was like, okay, this is how I would like to be approached, and this is not the way I'm being approached. And they're projecting that approach to themselves. They're attracting it to themselves even if they don't like it. So it's like they have to be able to accept the fact that if I dress like a whore, I'm gonna be treated like a whore. If I dress modestly, I'll probably be treated modestly, and not a lot of them get that.
So I do understand that traditional roles play a big part in relationships nowadays. But here's the thing. A lot of people aren't traditional anymore. A lot of women wanted equality. Not every woman wanted this. I understand. I could be very honest, y'all. I never screamed for the Me Too movement. I never screamed and saying we're equal to men. I never said that. So for me, at least in my life, I would like a man to approach me. I would like a man to ask me out. I would like a man to court me, especially because that's how I was raised. My grandparents are very traditional. That's how it goes. I was raised in a Hispanic household, so I'm very used to the men and being very masculine, while the woman waits for the man to come to her. And of course, you'll make hints at the guy. Ladies, I will say this. We're in a new generation. There's nothing wrong with approaching men. It's not seen as masculine anymore. I feel like a lot of women think that it's a masculine trait. Maybe it's because of the way you're approaching men. Maybe it's because you might think that it's aggressive. You don't have to necessarily go up to him and, what's up, dude? Here's my number. You don't got to do that. You know what I mean? You could easily go up to him, say he looks cute, invite him for dinner, tell him you're making dinner and invite him to your place. Not the best idea, just an example, or invite him somewhere out. But see, women don't like doing this because they don't like to court men. I've seen so many women that are in relationships, healthy relationships, and guess what? That man was either shy or that man wasn't talking and she went up to him and guess what? They're married now. So it just depends on the dynamic. This is not for everybody. I also don't think it's a masculine thing, y'all. I really don't. I'm sorry. Women can buy men dinner. Men can buy women dinner. Like, we're supposed to be a team, y'all. There shouldn't be this like back and forth about who should ask who out. And here's another example. Do you think that when a guy comes into a setting, a place, he goes and sees you, right? And do you think in his mind he goes, yep, she likes me back? He doesn't know that. 9 times out of 10, he's playing a gambling game. And what happens when you gamble? You lose, you win. You don't know, right? It's under question. You go up to the girl, you in hopes that she likes you back, in hopes that you can get her to, be with you, if that's his intention. So a lot of the times you guys go, if I go and ask a guy out, he's going to say no. If I go and ask a guy out, I don't know if he's going to like me. How do you think guys feel? Men don't just go, yup, I'm going to bag every chick I go up to. If that was the case, men will be approaching women every single day. And there's still men who don't approach women for this reason. Nobody likes the fear of rejection. Understand, no matter what you do in life, you win some, you lose some. You fall, you dust yourself off, you get back up. It doesn't end like that, y'all. You guys act as if you ask a guy out, he says, no, it's the end of the world, you're an ugly beast. It's not how it works. The person could be having so many things on their plate. They could have just got out of a relationship. They could be healing. It could be a plethora of reasons why they might say no. It doesn't have to do with just solely your looks. Relax. I always say, if you're going to approach somebody, do it in a calm manner. If you want to just be cool with them first, see where things go, then do that as well. But I don't see nothing wrong with women asking men out and vice versa. I just always say this, y'all. No matter what you do, please understand, men feel the same way you do. Men have to approach us. Men have to ask us on dates. Men have to pay for things. And don't you think they get the same mindset you're getting right now as you go, I don't want to approach him. I'm not that bold. I'm not this. I'm not that. Men have to be bold. Men have to be the provider. Men have to be the one to step foot forward. Yeah, you got to understand, y'all, just as much anxiety you get doing this, men get the same anxiety. Men have the same feelings we do. They just mask them well because they're supposed to be stoic and strong. Could you imagine feeling anxiety and nobody knows it because you have to go up to that girl and ask her out, not knowing if you're cute or if she likes you? But I will say this. I think one of the things that bothers me about today's generation of women, and not all, a lot of women come on social media and they complain about every little thing. They complain about the first date. They complain about the way a guy approaches them. They complain about a lot of those type of things. And you know what's really sad? You guys should understand this. Men are romantic and men will learn along the way. But you got to let a man see what type of girl you are. You got to let a man take you on a couple of dates first. Y'all, I have been on very great dates. And in the beginning, the first date, I would say for some women might not be the greatest, but it was my favorite date. And eventually the dates got better and it became more romantic. And you started seeing the way the person really was putting in effort. But that's the thing. A lot of guys aren't going to spend all their money on one first date when they're just getting to know you. Please understand that. I understand a lot of you guys want to be courted. I understand a lot of you want princess treatment and things like that. But you got to understand, we're in a generation where there's gold digging women. There are women who use men for dates. And I get men should not be taking women out if they don't have money. But no person should be taking you on a 5-star date the first encounter of meeting you. I just don't see how that's reasonable, y'all. And like I said, a lot of you guys would not want to spend your money on a man. So how come you guys don't put yourself in someone else's shoes and go, would I want to date women and pay for expensive dates? Think about this. If you're a guy, right, and you're taking girls out on dates and say you're really trying to find the one and you're the one who has to court, you're the one who has to approach because you're a guy. Just picture yourself as a guy. We're going to take a girl to Cheesecake Factory and we're going to do maybe 3 dates a week. How much money do you think that is for you and the person 3 times? And then you guys get mad at men not spending a band on you on a date. I find that crazy. Let men be romantic. Let men lead you the proper way, but give it time. A lot of you guys want dates right now. You guys want it to be approached in a certain way. I think social media really messes up a lot of people's heads, y'all, because it gets you this high expectation that you won't be able to amount to. Just because you see somebody going to Nobu or whatever the fuck that place is, or going to other places, why do you guys compare? This is your relationship and your dynamic in your life. Let it build up to that. And a lot of the times too, if you're not dating a rich man, stop expecting rich things. You know what I mean? A lot of you guys will date men who aren't making that much money and then expect him to go out of his way to do all these things when he's barely making ends meet. So be very careful with the men you're dating and what things you're asking for, because you might just be nagging and nagging. And it's like, girl, he's trying his best, but you don't see that because you're paying attention to all the girls on social media getting worshipped and all that. It doesn't mean you're not deserving. It doesn't mean you're not worth it. Nobody said that. But be careful with the men you date, because if you want a high class lifestyle, you're barking up the wrong tree. And like I said, a lot of you too, at the same time, you guys want all these high luxurious things and you guys don't even take yourself out to that. You've never even went to Nobu and ate. You've never literally had a charcuterie board. You don't know what it's like to eat at a 7-course meal. And you're expecting this man to get you lobster steak and fucking champagne and all that stuff. And you don't even know different types of champagnes. You couldn't even name white wines for me. You couldn't even name the top 5 restaurants. So be careful with what you're asking for sometimes, because I feel like it's really rude. A lot of women are ruining the chivalry part because, like I said, you guys will complain about the way they approach, the way they do things. If you guys have so much to say, then why don't you guys do it? Since you guys are Mr. Planners, Mrs. Daters of the year, plan something. You sitting here talking about, oh, he can't know how to date. He don't know what kind of this to do. Then you plan a date. You plan a picnic. Ride that shit. Let's see how romantic you are. You want a man to court you, but you don't have reciprocated energy. I digress. It's just an opinion. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't Uzi me up.